You are not Alex Hormozy. You are not freaking Charlie Morgan, Iman, Gaji, whoever else. I don't know what. To be so honest, those are just three names that come to mind when I talk about this space. But you're not any of them. And when I stopped trying to model after these sorts of people and just like see what they're doing and try my own version of it, that's when my business blew up. I took my own creative energy and applied it to my business. For example, we just launched a brand new business, and in just 2 months, it's crossed over $100,000 in cash collected volume every month at a 70% take home. And next month, we should even do like 150, 200, but who knows? I don't like to talk about the future so much. So look, I wanted to make a video for you guys about tapping into your unique perspective and what it is that you uniquely bring to the table as a human being. I believe that every person has their own gifting. They have their own supernatural abilities, okay? And one of the really just disastrous realities of the entrepreneurial scene, you know, the who's who of entrepreneurship, is that you end up ignoring your own intuition. And I'm telling you, your intuition is where the money is. Your intuition, that small voice in the back of your head that's telling you, try this, don't do that, that's not going to work, you don't want that. Or say it like this. Those little intuitive thoughts. You know, I was joking with my team. You know, we just had a nearly $20,000 day yesterday. Again, with a brand new business. Like, it's honestly blowing my mind. It's just, I'm so grateful for all the lessons that I've learned. I'm actually coming up on 10 million in total sales across everything. Been doing this for 6 years. So grateful that I have the tools to whip together new businesses like this. And it's in a totally new niche. I used zero of my own audience, of my own reach. I started from total scratch. I gave it a $10,000 budget of ads to figure out. And now it's doing what it's doing. It's amazing. And we were joking that some people are really dumb in real life, but then really smart in business. And I've decided to call that money IQ. And it's this like bro, I'm sitting here liking just dumb reels. And like, yeah, I've got like this stupid sense of humor. Like I'm totally chronically online. You know, like I'm not that smart outside of a business context, but I think there's actually like a genius to that I didn't realize existed, which is this like not trying to be something you're not. And when you create this suspense between who you actually are and what you think you need to be in order to succeed, you leave behind so many giftings, okay? And in my mastermind, it's called the Kaizen Mastermind Group. You can learn more about it. The link's in the description. It's for client-based businesses that want to scale to 100 to 500 grand a month. We've got 37-figure and 2 8-figure people that have gone through it. And in that group, I was showing them how I built the funnel and everything, how I built the business. And it's so much stuff that they've never really considered. And that's because I'm just totally tapped into my giftings. You know, I'm not paying attention to what other people do. I'm just doing what I feel like I should do next. I mean, that's honestly my entire business plan. And it's because I'm not trying so hard. I'm not trying to be somebody or something that I'm not. You know, and so what I think is important to learn how to do is it's like, here's what it's akin to. It's akin to learning an instrument. A lot of you have probably learned an instrument. I play guitar. I've played guitar for 10 years, and I'm actually starting to write some music, and I might even come out with an album. So if you want me to come out with a music album, let me know. But it's like learning an instrument. If you've ever learned an instrument, if you haven't learned an instrument, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you have, you know exactly what I mean. When you're first learning an instrument, you're learning all these building blocks, okay, of chords, melody, tempo, the building blocks of music, okay? Once you have the building blocks of music, then you can write your own music. So when you're first getting started, yeah, get the building blocks. Learn marketing, learn sales, learn offer, learn team, learn operations, learn product market fit and market research. Like we moved into a brand new market with this other business. I've never sold to this niche before in my entire life, and here we are doing over $100,000 a month. It's because I have these pieces. Now I can write music that I'm actually excited about. Now I can almost creatively express myself in business, which is the most satisfying thing to me. I'm not a super logical, robotic guy. I'm more of a creative type. I've always been. My family's artists were. My mom's like a hippie gypsy artist, And what I've found is people, especially online, are just too focused on what other people are doing, and it's just logically, oh, they're running an ad like this, I'm going to say that in my ad. Oh, their funnel has this headline, I'm going to have that headline myself. Oh, they made this YouTube video, I'm going to make that video for myself. It's kind of like when Eminem was like the first white rapper, and then all these other white rappers start popping up because they realize that formula works. One of Eminem's lines in his song is something like, I was the first one, then people figured out that the formula works, and now there's a bunch of them. And it's so true. Like, that's how this seems to be. And so what I'm urging you to do is play the long game of figuring out, first of all, get the building blocks. Okay, yeah, when you're learning an instrument, like, you can be a creative genius, but if you don't physically know how to play the guitar, then you can't write any music. You have to learn chords, tempo, melody. Even if you unconsciously learn those things, you have to learn them. And then you can play the guitar. You have to learn what the frets do, and you have to learn chord, which each string and the chords and projections whatever. And then you can write music. But what I'm urging you to do is play the long game of integrating your own creative, unique, intuitive ideas. And how you tap into this intuition, this is actually an interesting thing. One of my clients, and I won't reveal his name, but he's in the Kaizen mastermind, and he's been stuck at about $20,000 to $30,000 a month for a very long time. And we both agree that a big part of the problem is because his market message, what he's actually saying to his market, is just too drowned out by other people saying a similar thing, which is a lot of my viewers. So we're now starting to break that ceiling aggressively to where they're projecting, multi-seven figures. And my first advice when he joined was, I need you to do way less work and to do less stuff and to take a step away from the business and just do things that you enjoy and just write down ideas for like a couple months. And it was really unintuitive to him. I mean, his income actually went backwards. So his best month was about 30. When he retracted, he went down to about 15 grand a month, which feels like a big hit when you're doing that level of numbers. But it's not a big hit in the big picture. That's why I'm his mentor, so I can help him think these things through. Now, he's discovered his voice. He's figured out the things that he believes and doesn't believe in his communication. And he's figured out his unique core way, his unique solution to his market's problems. He's really thought through his frameworks and strategies, and he's thought through what makes him different. One of my earliest business mentors, this is somebody I spent almost $100,000 on their products. His name's Sam Ovens. He said something that really stood out to me, and he said, the people who make the most money in consulting, coaching services, online stuff like that, they're the people that can recognize when people have accepted something at mass that is untrue. So, the consciousness of crowds is really very fickle. People can end up believing things that aren't true just because other people are doing them, right? And like one of those things for me is like funnels. I feel like funnels are stupid. I think that like that concept is just dead. It's stupid. I'm not saying don't have a funnel. I'm saying funnel type thinking, mathematical instead of message, right? Nail the message, the math comes after. You'll have great math. We're turning $1 into 8 with my other company. But I didn't think about the funnel math. I thought about message. Then the funnel math ended up looking great. But anyway, so if you can find ways that people have distorted their thinking and then correct them, you can make an inordinate amount of money, like a ridiculous amount of money. But the problem is, this particular client was kind of just saying things that everybody else was saying. And he was doing well because his client results are amazing. But he was saying the same things everybody else was saying. And it held him back. And so, look, I want you to really think about your unique perspective. Forget what you've heard other people say. When somebody says this is the way to get this outcome, let's say you're a weight loss coach. Somebody says, hey, you got to do this. What do you think about that? Do you think that's actually the way to do it from your personal experience? What do you think? Right? And so I just want to make this video because a part of why, we're in one of the most competitive niches over in my other company, which is like sales training and stuff and sales recruitment and stuff. Very competitive niche. And a part of why we're killing it is because I actually didn't pay any attention at all to any of the other competitors in that niche. And I'm not looking at what they're saying. I intentionally, well, maybe it's subconsciously, not even necessarily intentionally, subconsciously just knew it wouldn't benefit me at all to look at anybody else's funnel. Because then I'm going to get biased. Why would I look at what they're saying? Why don't I just do it myself and talk to a bunch of people and hear what they're saying and then bring my unique perspective to it? And that's what myself and my leader over there have done. And it's killing it. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. I want you to really think about what do you uniquely possess and not just do what you see other people doing because it's making them money. That's a losing strategy. And if you get into the habit of just doing what other people are doing just because it's making them money, you're forever going to be riding the coattails of other people instead of creating your own wave and creating something that you truly believe in that is unique to you, and then having the confidence that nobody can replicate it because it's you and it's yours. So, thanks guys.